me talk about Mitt Romney. He is, as I said before the break, the steady Eddie. You know, he's been very consistent, and yet hasn't really made the leap into out-and-out front runner. Why hasn't he? How are you going to beat him? Because we're now at the stage when that's what you're going to have to do.
No, I think what I have to do is find a way to get a majority of the Republican voters, including in states like New Hampshire, independents who are allowed to vote Republican, to vote for me. And if I get a majority of Republican voters as a byproduct of that, Mitt Romney will lose. But my goal is not to go out and figure out a way to beat Mitt Romney. My goal is to go out and find a way to talk to every American who cares about Alzheimer's, every American who cares about Parkinson's, every American who cares about mental health, every American who cares about autism, bring them together in a positive way, talking about a brain science solution that's really very different from normal politics.
But that I totally agree is very important. But the reality of politics is that you're probably going to be, whether you like it or not, perceived as the anti-Mitt candidate, aren't you?
See, this is something I find fascinating. Okay. I've been involved in politics since 1958. I helped grow the modern Republican Party of Georgia. I helped create a national majority. And you're explaining to me the reality of politics. The reality of politics is, if you have a good enough leader who's positive enough, they can ignore the other candidates. They can create a positive majority around a positive set of solutions and let the other candidate worry about me.
Yeah, but actually, look, I don't mean to
I'm not going to try to defeat Mitt Romney.
I'm not going to suck eggs, as you say. You've been in politics longer than I've been alive, Mr. Speaker, so I wouldn't be so impertinent. However,
you'll now be impertinent. Go ahead.
Well, no, I'm not
it's your prerogative. You're the host.
No, not impertinent, but certainly a little bit more provocative, perhaps, where I would say to you, look, you are a smart cookie, and you realise that you're in a race here. And in a race, yes, you can be positive, but you're also going to have to offer a differential to other candidates, aren't you?
No, you don't.
So you won't be doing that?
Well, first of all, I think I am a differential to the other candidates.
How do you differ to Mitt Romney?
I just said, no other candidate's talked about taking on the judicial branch the way I have. No other candidate's talking about brain science. No other candidate's talking America now and how you would modernize the federal government decisively. No other candidate's talking about, well, except in all fairness, Herman Cain is. Herman and I are the only two talking about a personal Social Security account for young people modeled on Chile and on Galveston, Texas. So I think what my goal is to say to the American people, look at what I am doing. If this is what you think we need in order to fix America, come with me. I never ask people to be for me. Come with me for the next 8 years. Stand with me. Let's get this done. If enough people decide to do that, if I get 50% of the people deciding to do that, then Mitt Romney will have a problem. How's he going to beat Newt Gingrich?
Is he a conservative in the true sense?
He's certainly much more conservative than Barack Obama.
But not as conservative as you, right?
Well, I'm not just conservative. I'm different. I mean, you know, I talk about things most people don't talk about because, again, I've spent 53 years looking at what America needs. I believe we need profound change. I think we need to implement the 10th Amendment in a serious way and very dramatically reshape our approach to the judicial branch. That makes me in some ways conservative, but I suspect it also means that I'm probably the most change-oriented conservative, certainly since Ronald Reagan.
How important do you think are issues, social issues for the Conservatives, particularly the candidates? Abortion, for example, has got Herman Cain into big problems, where he apparently seemed to be pro-life and pro-choice in an interview that I did with him. And I was surprised by his response. It seemed very, I don't know, it seemed very naive to try and adopt both positions, and clearly got him into trouble with the Conservative base. Gay marriage and stuff like this is getting a lot of traction now, with 5 states now supporting it. Can the traditional hardline Conservative values still be successful, do you think?
Well, the majority of Americans now believe in the right to life. In fact, Gallup has said that has grown steadily ever since the Supreme Court fundamentally misinterpreted the Constitution in a decision that's actually incomprehensible. So I think what you're seeing happen is the country is asking itself a very profound question. When does life begin? If we're endowed by our Creator with certain unalienable rights, when does that endowment occur? Now, that's serious.
Are you anti-abortion under any circumstance?
I think that there are exceptions for life of the mother and rape and incest, but I would be deeply committed to a right to life position. I would take the money we currently give Planned Parenthood for abortions, and I would turn that into money for adoptions, and try to make it easier for young women who end up being pregnant if they carry the child to term.
So on the break, come back and talk about the Tea Party, how you differ from them, maybe how much you feel an affinity to them, how you would beat Barack Obama if